So, in your mind, when you look to see how sensitive, I say that loosely, people are now about like I have standard Southern humor, and I was booked up in Minneapolis, and it was a nice crowd, but I told a story that happened to a cousin of mine that's about the sweetest woman in the world that teaches inmates children. So these kids have probably heard everything in the world.
Yeah.
And so she's so sweet. She talks like this. She said, well, I came back from spring break and I was talking to my little inmate kids. They're so sweet, but they've heard a lot of bad things. And she said, I just said, oh, boys and girls, I just couldn't believe it. I was eating breakfast and there was a snake wrapped around the leg of my kitchen table. And one of the little boys said, well, what did you do, Miss Walker? She said, well, I ran to get the hoe. And he said, well, what did she do? See, I think that's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah, when I told it, because it's a cultural thing. So I told it, I tell it in the South sometimes, you have your go-tos. And everybody laugh. So I told it up in Minneapolis. And out of the whole crowd of people, one person, I'm offended. So what do you say to something like that? I mean, I say to myself, I better stay my fanny in the South, and hush. So, how would you advise
I would
me?
not tell you that, Jane. I would not. I mean, one, I'd say know your audience as best you can, and I think we're both professionals and we do our best to know our audience. But I would also say, don't censor yourself. I think we are in a time where people, and not all people, but some people are looking to be offended. And if you're looking to be offended, guess what? You'll find it. You'll find it. And we can't help that.
No.
So we have to be smart, know our audience. Let me tell you, I do comedy at a lot of Catholic fundraisers. I work with a guy out here, Joe Conklin, who's wonderful. He's on our sports radio out here, and he draws a big crowd. So we'll get several hundred. I can't even tell you the number of gymnasiums that I have performed in proudly with Mr. Conklin. So it's a Catholic crowd. It is. So I have to be mindful that even though I'm in a gymnasium and this is comedy, it's a Catholic crowd. There are certain things that I shouldn't step on. But I will go to the line, Jane. I will go to the line. Sometimes I do something to test the waters up front. One of the things, in fact, I still have it on today. I do a joke where my husband and I have been married for 24 years, and he bought me a wonderful gift. And I show them this ring. And of course, with the spotlight, it's all sparkly and beautiful. And I said,
oh, that is gorgeous.
Isn't that a cool ring? So, and I let people know it's cubic zirconia, which, as we all know, is a fake diamond. So I gave him fake sex. Okay, now, Jane, that's on the line. I don't even know if I was allowed to say this on your show.
I think that's so funny. I'm sorry, but I love that.
But I will tell you, that is my test the waters joke. Because if I feel the butt cheeks clench and suck the air out of the room, I'm like, well, erase. Because I know there's a lot of other stuff. And I don't consider myself a dirty comic at all.
No.
But if there's a sensitive crowd, if you watch faces like, ooh, great, I'm just like, all right, you ain't doing that one. You're not doing that one.
That's very smart, though, Theresa. You have to have that little what if, we got to see.